And we're live.
Hey, boy, we're back. The Rankers are back, not in full number. Our main man Noah is out of town, so we have brought in the illustrious, the sturdy Sam. Sam, what's going on, buddy?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing good. I have to say this outright. It feels good to be in the playoff.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just. Oh, we're all in. I don't know where the feedback's coming from, but we're all in. And let's dive into it. Sam, is this your first round bye? I'm curious.
I can't remember. Probably though.
It might be.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Easy money.
you think you got this week in the bag? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
I got the win. Dog. I'm feeling good against my opponent.
That bye week knocked off the Cowboys, though. You guys got to watch it. Justin, I gotta say, 0-3, dude.
Oh,
0-3.
man, what a journey it's been. But we are
That's
here.
Yes,
We're stacked. Maybe. We'll see.
two stacked. Yeah, no, you're 0-3. Now you're back in it. You're at the 5th seed. You've got a tough matchup. But we'll jump to the playoffs. Let's get into our rankings first. So at 12, 10 or 11 and 10, no surprises. We got Mark at 12. Josh Kessler's actually at 11. No, wait. Josh Kobayashi, sorry. Wrong Josh. Mark's at 12. Josh Kobayashi's at 11. Thompson's at 10. Nothing really to say here. Good luck. Don't get last.
Yeah.
You guys have anything to add there? I have
Nope.
nothing to add there. Okay. Okay, that's
so we can rename your team.
yeah, we should. Yeah, I'm gonna add a segment later about that. Okay, 9, 8, 7. Cody Williams is at 9, and this is a business decision. I've got him ranked as the worst team in the league. I've got him ranked at 12 because when you guaranteed have zeros from 2 starting positions, you cannot lose. You cannot win. You cannot win.
It's
This
true.
is not the first time that this has happened. These are easily dodged mistakes, and there will be consequences. All right, this is playoff invocations. But if you win and I lose, which I ended up winning, but if you're in the playoffs, and there's no respect for the league, and I take that personally. Justin,
I mean, I think I agree with everything you said. I mean, and it's just a shame because I think this roster was excellent, but you still have to manage it. And
thank God we don't have to deal with Derrick Henry in the playoffs.
yeah, thank goodness. It legitimately scared me. I was like, oh man, I may have to go up against Derrick Henry, and I was like,
Yeah,
that was terrible.
It's Jacksonville. Oh,
And AJ Brown, both of those guys.
Yikes.
yeah. Look at these matchups. Jacksonville week 14, Detroit week 15,
Oh God.
Green Bay week 16.
Oh my goodness.
We're talking like 100 points between all 3 weeks, or in total, man. Oh, geez, that would have been crazy.
But no, but we've devoted too much time for the manager who doesn't manage.
Yeah. So, yeah. 8 is Kessner. Kessner, you've had a phenomenal season. The last straw was this week. I get a win. Who's to say that Gibson puts you over the top? Maybe, maybe not against a tough Steelers defense, but it would have been close. But Gibson gets hurt on like his first carry that he rumbles off for 13 yards and locks up my playoff spot and really hurts your chances here for the consolation. That sucks. You've done what you needed to do. But good news is you're locked and loaded for next year. Got some great draft picks. You guys want to talk about Kessner or Ken?
I think we can move on to Ken.
All right, go for it.
So I think with Ken, I mean, so he's 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's David Montgomery. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming. All of a sudden, like Ken's roster does not look. I mean, it's been solid all season, but it's like, oh wow, this. I mean, it's just too bad. It's a little too late, and he went up against. Well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Geez, a massive boom by
Yeah.
our defending champ. So Yeah, I mean, he really wasn't. He had a long shot at the playoffs, and yeah, it's just unfortunately just a little too late. Kind of ran into some midseason injuries, and that kind of derailed things. But it was, I think he kind of did an excellent job managing this year. It's just a shame that the injuries kind of put him off a little in the midseason.
Yeah, the underrated injury was the Dak Prescott injury, and Sam felt that the worst, but
Mm-hmm.
it but it hurt Zeke too.
Yeah,
And that was Ken lost some close games, and that would have been the deciding factor. And then Gaskin gets hurt, and Montgomery gets hurt, and he's playing spots. He had some good waiver moves, but like you said, it was just too little, too late. Sam, do you have anything else to say here?
No, not really. I mean,
All right, let's go to where it matters. Fittingly, the top six are all playoff teams. That would have been bad if one of us was not in the top six. Yikes!
it was close for me.
Probably. So I'm at 6. I'm sitting here at 6. Noah's at 5, and Jacob is at 4.
whoa.
And I think this is a huge mistake. I think it's, I just. But let's talk about me, and I don't want you guys to talk about me. I want to feel good. Bring it in.
Well, you sold, and you still made the playoffs, so that's a win because you are set up for. And I think personally, and we'll get to this later on. I think you got the easier side of the bracket,
I
and
100% have the easier side of the bracket.
which kind of leads me to Noah, who his team has been on the decline a little bit. Only 76 points this week. It's
Jeez.
rough.
Only 72 the week before.
Yeah, maybe Breeze comes back. I doubt it. So we're looking at another week of Kamara being very human.
Taysom Hill, let's go.
Yeah, I think we talked about on the pod when I made my moves that I wanted to get rid of the inconsistencies, and I still had them, but I got rid of the ones that had big names attached and cashed. But there was a plan. There was a game plan to stay competitive. And that plan has paid off, where I was forcing myself to play Deontay Johnson, forcing myself to play the Cardinals backfield, forcing myself to play the Chargers backfield. And those guys have produced. And I was kibitzing with Sam off air the last couple of weeks, where it's like, I told you guys, you got to show up with more than 100. If you don't, you will lose. And that was pretty much the case. The only one that didn't was Justin showed up with more than 100.
And I still lost.
You still lost because my team essentially hit their ceiling, and that's the biggest problem with my squad is my ceiling is about 130, and there are teams in the playoffs right now that could hit the 200 mark. So
well, if you play your lineup right this week, you would have had more than 130.
okay, you want to talk? This is fun. Sam, you tell me, without knowing, what would have went down this week? Okay, without knowing,
Yeah.
do you play Kiki Kuti over Mike Williams or Jarvis Landry?
Not over Jarvis, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Let me see. Again, over Mike Williams? No, probably not. Because Indianapolis
Okay,
is a tough.
I
Justin.
100% start.
Oh, you would. That's
No,
ridiculous.
no.
Dude,
I think Mike Williams might be in your starting lineup I wouldn't do it. Mike Williams is, to me, he's a trap. He can put up big, but he can also he's got a really low floor. And against New England, I remember looking at this and being like, I don't know, I would not start Mark Williams against a Bill Belichick led defense who eats rookie quarterbacks.
I didn't. So there's lies the problem. The problem was Belichick's figuring out Herbert
Yeah.
was the real problem, because if you track back, and you took this into consideration, Justin. I did not. Look, if you track back the New England Patriots defense, they utterly erased the number one, and then the number two has a huge game, like every single week. But I did not take into consideration that Belichick would just, which he should. It's obvious now, like hindsight, that he would have just utterly thrown Herbert for a loop.
And I would add, he's absolutely owned Anthony Lynn because this is a side note. I think Anthony Lynn should be fired. I think he's a terrible coach. He's a great guy.
I
Terrible
think he's
coach.
a bad head coach.
Bill Belichick has like if you look at the total score he's put up against Anthony Lynn, it's absurd.
Yeah.
It's so I was not I was I thought about if I had a healthy T Higgins, there was a chance I was benching Keenan Allen for that matchup. I did not like it at all.
Okay, the other one is I had Gasecki in until Sunday morning,
Tuh.
but Tua was then announced to start because if
Yeah,
Fitzpatrick is playing, I'm 100% playing Gasecki. Like
Would
there's
not have
no
played
there's no
Gasicki.
question.
I would not have played him.
But if Tua's in the lineup, I can't trust that.
No.
And then he goes out and utterly balls, and
But
I
see,
am
that's the
still
thing
benching.
about Tua. He loves the tight ends. That's something I've
He
learned.
has not in the other starts. Like go look at Gasecki's stats with Tua: 8 yards, 42 yards,
Doesn't he
40
have all the touchdowns though?
No, 43 yards, 0 touchdowns. He scores last week when
That's the
Fitzpatrick's
other
in the
touch.
lineup.
It's the other touch. Or the other tight ends.
Oh yeah, Shaheen or whatever,
Yeah.
Shaheen. But he's only touchdowns. Like that guy only scores. He doesn't get
Yeah.
any yards. It's like,
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, okay. So yes, if I played my lineup correctly, blah,
Which
blah.
I'm not saying that like I would have like I think the only decision I would have made differently is the Mike Williams one. But I'm just saying that
That's
to
been
say
my
that you're
year.
I'm just saying that to say your team does have a larger ceiling, I think, than 130.
But do they
Potentially.
if you don't know who to play?
I
Like,
guess, yeah,
let's like,
that's a good philosophical question. I don't
because
know.
like, let's take who else, Noah here. His lineup is loaded, other than his flex. Other than that, you play Herbert. He's number 5. So we can talk about it. You play Herbert. You play
Yeah.
Kamara. You have to play Harris. You have to play Diggs. You have to play Ridley. You have to play Rodrigo, or whatever. And he's got a good. The Seahawks are a great setup for the playoff defense run. So you're trying to figure out your flex, and he has a whole bunch of I want to puke flexes. Like so, his ceiling is what it is. Like that's what I'm getting at. Like he can go 120,
Yeah.
and he's not going to have any points on the bench. And I'm going to go 120. I'm going to have points on the bench because I just don't know. I have to, I do my best job at putting the lineup, but
Yeah, I guess I would say your theoretical ceiling is potentially higher. But
sure.
it's tough to get that ceiling.
Yeah, it's much harder to get than some of these other teams that are easily like the lineup is easy to set. Speaking of Noah, we can move on beyond me again. I don't have a pick beyond the 11th round next year, and I'm in the playoffs. That's how you manage. Okay, so Sam, what do you like about Noah's roster? What you don't like?
I'm looking at it right now. I mean, Herbert had a horrible game last week, but like we were
Easy
talking
bounce back
about,
this
that
week,
was against Belichick, and I thought I saw something like Belichick's record versus rookie QBs is like 16-2 or something crazy like that. Like, he just doesn't lose to rookies. But I mean, overall, it's solid. Like, he has good wide receivers overall. I would say. Like, I think Godwin being hurt a little is um, kind of sucks because you don't know if you should play Antonio Brown or Chris Godwin when he's hurt. um,
Yeah,
but like Kamara has been a little more involved in the offense from what it seemed like last game, so I think he'll be on the uprise a little more. Like Latavius Murray literally did nothing last game. Yeah, but they passed a lot because they're against Atlanta, so we'll see what happens against Philly. But I think Kamara could start to do better, like close to 20, I would say. I mean, overall, Diggs is solid. Calvin Ridley's solid. We know that. Rudolph has been actually surprisingly pretty good recently.
he
Uh,
blanked last week. Big
yeah,
little goose.
so team overall, I feel like could make a turn for the playoffs, which if it does, can be kind of scary because he does have, like we were talking about, some of the well-known players, those players that did well early on in the season, and if we see them return again, it's like this team will be back and like it was early in the season. So we'll see. But
Problem is, you just have 1 week to do it, and that's the problem.
I think it all hinges on Herbert. If Herbert, which he can, goes off against Atlanta,
Oh yeah,
he probably will though.
because I think I have a matchup. Oh, we'll talk about this later. Okay, no, anything else on or Justin? Anything else on Noah?
no,
Okay, and then Jacobs at 4, and I think Jacobs a top 3 team.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. This is looking at right here. I've got Jacob at 3. It's true that's got him down. and I mean, Justin, you have him at 4. I think he's a top 3 team. I like him more than Santos's team.
So the reason I have him at 4 is not. I think the team in its composition is excellent and he might be a top 3 team, probably a top 3 team. So the reason I have him at 4 is more to do with his playoff schedule, and his matchups going forward, which are rough, which we will get into later, I guess, with the playoff bracket.
Sure.
So I won't go super in depth, but that's the reason.
Okay, forecasting him. Interesting. Okay, all right.
I mean, like I said, that's my methodology for my rankings. Is I'm looking a little bit more towards the future. So
I think one thing I want to point out, and this is something I just realized, is his win streak is at 7 right now. He was 3-3 when he lost.
Yeah,
Now
he has a
he's
taste of
2-3.
defeat in almost 2 months.
Like, that's insane. Like, I don't care which team you are. If you have a 7-game win streak,
yeah, it's pretty impressive.
you're good.
Yeah, and I think this is the best managing we've seen from Jacob all year, or across his tenure in the league. I just don't see any. I guess tight end, but we've talked about at length how every team other than Justin has a problem at tight end, and I guess Santos. So
Yeah, Santos
has a fine tight end. So other than that, this team is stacked, and but I think also, to be fair, the top 4 teams are extremely close. I have Santos at 4, just because I think his team is more boom or bust. I think Jacob's team is more I think we got a floor game from Jacob this last week, and he put up 120.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, let's hold on. I was looking at it because Justin Thompson almost got him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
He has 2 touchdowns across all of his skill position players. I'm going to say it again. He has 2 touchdowns across all of his skill position players, still puts up 120. That's
I guess it's tough to say it's a floor game when he put up 82 last week. So
okay, but he also had the week before he had the weird Julio was out and he should have played, and
that's true.
He should have Nick Chubb in there. Then he's at least over 110. Which he would have, because he would have slid Beasley up to Jones, and then he would have played over Jones, and then he would have played Chubb in the flex. And Thielen's out too there because of COVID, but he's back now.
Yeah.
Just saying, terrifying. No. Jacob, well done. Moving to the top 3, the aforementioned Santos is at 3. Sam, you're at 2. Justin's at 1, and I need to say this on air. So in the rankings, Santos is behind both of you by 1 point.
Wow.
You and Sam are tied,
Woo!
but you beat Sam head to head, so you have the number 1 ranking. That's how close it is, though.
Not cool.
So Sam, convince us why we should change our rankings and move you up, because we could. There's room.
Yeah,
we could.
I can make an argument.
Yeah.
I mean, all I have to say is 2 names, and you know what I would say.
But okay, but both of you could do that. Both teams could do that.
I guess one thing that has been a turn for me is my running back situation, which has been actually very interesting now. Jonathan Taylor is on the uprise. Wayne Gall is an RB1 in my opinion.
David Johnson's back.
David Johnson is back. Josh Jacobs is hurt, but honestly, he's been so inconsistent where it's if I have guys that are putting up over 10 every week, that's all I need from the running back position.
So you got Cam Akers too.
Yeah, and I got Cam on the bench too. I think my only problem is obviously tight end, but QB right now is a question mark of will he'll stay as a starter. So I think I don't know. Honestly, I feel like my team has options now, which is at least in the running back position, which is really cool. And also my matchups are pretty phenomenal, at least this week and week 16. Week 15 isn't bad, isn't great. It's very average, I would say. But overall, I feel like my team is gonna put up some points coming up.
So from all of that, which is well said, I don't think I'm moving you. Because I have you ranked number 1, Sam. Because I already have you at the top. Okay? I already have you at the top.
Thank you.
Justin's got you down below a little bit. but not by much. It's very, very close. And NFL True is holding you together. I want to dive into Justin. So we got to talk about Santos. Don't overlook him. We saw the ceiling this last week, and oh
Oh,
my
it's high.
it is so high. It's terrifyingly high.
I think his team terrifies me the most because you just don't know if if he gets that ceiling game, you can't beat it. I think he has the highest ceiling out of all the entire league, um, and I don't think it's close.
And this is without Galladay. This is without DJ Moore.
Exactly.
This is with Josh Allen on the bench, and I think I would have played Tannehill as well. So I don't think it's
Yeah.
a bad choice.
Yeah.
But there's another 3-point boost there. Like, oh my gosh, this is scary. And he has to deal with Justin this week. And so Santos, this is strong. I was talking with Justin off air. Santos put together a string of years of really strong managing, and it's funny because the managing was great last year. His team actually wasn't all that good, but he managed it so well that he won the championship. This year, he's managing well, and the team is good, and we're seeing these boom games. Like, holy crap! Well drafted, made the tweaks necessary to stay relevant. Love it. I love
Second
it.
most, he scored the second most points for on the league.
I've got him at 4 just because I happen to like the other rosters better as a complete roster, but he could easily win this whole thing. Easily.
Easy.
All right. Sam, you brought up some great points about your team.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest hit, and I've got you at 1.
Yeah.
But that's only if Hill keeps playing. Because as soon as Breeze comes back, I don't think there's a way. You have to stream to stay relevant there, and that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But Hill's been beautifully consistent.
Yeah, he's been great.
He's not the ceiling. He's not going to be like QB1 in the week, but he's not going to kill you. Yeah, he just needs to put up some points, and that's all you've gotten from him, and that's all you need. Justin, do you have anything else on Sam's team?
I think you touched on the quarterback. That's really the danger. I think that could sink a playoff run. Is everywhere else it's deep. Tight end, don't worry about it. Everybody else stinks. The special teams are great too, and so it's really just the quarterback. It's just the quarterback.
Yep.
And it could be week 15. Like a lot of people are talking, Breeze comes back week 15, and we'll have another rankings between now and then. So change.
We'll see.
Justin,
not.
I'm sorry, Sam. Go for it.
I'm hoping not. But
yeah. I think the team is more fun to watch too with Hill under center.
Yeah, for sure. Hill's a fun player to watch.
Yeah, and these guys are still eating. Like Thomas and Kamara, they're still getting touches.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the team is suffering. But the Saints defense. Justin, you're at number 1. You mentioned at the beginning. You've made playoffs. You're the 5th seed. You started 0-3. You've strung together a phenomenal run of trades. I mean, wins. And here you are playing Santos, and I want to give a little talk about a pants check. Like, are you peeing yourself a little bit? Are you sweating? Like, what's the moisture level in the pants right now? You know.
Well, I think for me, I'm just happy to be here. I mean, I know a lot of people say it, but I really am, because it's just like there was a point 2 weeks ago where I was very much sweating it out, thinking I wasn't even going to make it. So I'm here. I honestly was like, I don't care who I face. I think my team's good enough to beat any team. I will say Santos's team is the team that scares me the most because of that high ceiling. Like, I think my team it's consistent. It has a high ceiling. I don't think it's as high, but I think the big thing about my team is just very consistent. It hasn't put up less than 100 points since week 2.
What?
Yeah, look it up. It's crazy. Week 2 was the last time I put up less than 100 points.
Jeez.
And I think the thing that's going to cause me to sweat this week is just, do I get CMC back or not?
That's the turning point.
I think if I don't have him, I'll still have a good shot, but I just want to have another game with him. So, and I think, I have myself ranked first. But in my opinion, if I don't have CMC, I don't think I'm the best team. I'm up there with the top three, I think, but I would put Sam and Santos ahead of me if I don't have CMC. So me at one was based on CMC being back. So if I can survive this week, I might even get Joe Mixon back. So
Yeah, it sounds like might come back week 15. Not back this week. Could be the next week. Sam. You got anything
also,
else?
this is
Oh,
another fun fact. This is the third year in a row I've had the most points for.
Oh, okay. Keep hyping yourself up more.
I need to drop this caveat in here. Justin missed the playoffs last year. I just need to throw that out there.
Yeah.
So
He
sad.
led the team in soaring. Couldn't win enough games.
So
That's
sad.
why I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful to be here, man.
Have Kelsey.
No, it's no. I didn't know the stat about over 100 since week 2. That's insane. That's crazy. I don't know if I've never heard of that. Sam, anything else about this roster? About this miracle? that is
It's
taking place?
all right, I guess.
I love having you on the show.
McCaffrey's all right. James Robinson, all right. Aaron Rodgers, he's doing all right. Travis Kelce, very average. You know how it is.
Kelsey was the tight end 2 last week, man. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah,
That's
it's terrible.
You should trade him.
stupid.
You should
You should
trade
get
him.
rid of him. You should trade him for a running quarterback 2.
Yeah.
Someone
There you go.
like Ryan Fitzpatrick is
That's
is on
great
Sam's
trade.
bench.
Great trade.
Yeah, flip that right now. All right, let's. I think we said we need to set about the rankings. Let's do a little playoff brackets. Okay. So here we go. We know what the playoffs are. I'm gonna open it up on my screen just so I'm not flubbing. We know what the playoffs are. Sam and Jacob have the first round buys. Good for you, gentlemen. Well done.
Thank you.
It's me and Noah, and it's Santos and Justin. So what I want you guys to do is I've already got this mapped out in my head. If you already do, it's great. I want to do consolation as well because I want to predict the losers.
We shouldn't spend as much time on that one.
No, but I still want to project the losers. So in the consolation, Chicago, Cody has the bye, which infuriates me, and Ken has a bye as well, and that's good for him.
Yes.
It's Mark against Justin, and it's Josh against Josh.
Nice.
So,
the Joshes.
Yeah, the Josh Bowl. I want this to be an every year thing.
Josh Bowl.
Let's talk consolation real
We need
quick.
to have a drop for that.
I know. We need to get some drops. We're working on that. Production value of this pod is going up next year. Okay, so Josh, let's do the consolation real quick. We don't have to take long on this.
Mm-hmm.
Top bracket. Josh v. Josh. Who you got?
Ooh.
I think Josh wins.
Oh,
Which Josh?
I win. See? Boom. Locked it in. No, I think if DeAndre, I'm going to call it. I don't want to do ifs. I'm going to call it right here. I think that Kobayashi wins.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so too.
Which is a big bummer. And that's just because Gibson's not playing.
Yeah.
Sanders, he has to play Sanders because there's no one else, and he's going to score 0. Or not 0. He's going to score nothing.
Yep. You're right.
And even if DeAndre Swift doesn't play, he can put in Adrian Peterson, who's going to be a goal line guy. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. Kessner, this is not your fault. The league has injured all of your players. But I don't think you get past round 1 here. You're going to be fighting for the number 11 spot. On the other side, I think Justin Thompson beats Mark.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be Josh Kessner's saving grace. So in the next round, is everyone in agreement on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can.
We don't have to agree, by the way. You can have a different opinion.
No, I think so.
All right. Ken would then play Justin Thompson, and I think Ken wins. And Cody would then play Josh. Kobayashi.
I'm calling it.
I think Josh wins because I think Cody doesn't set his free line.
No, that's what I was going to say.
Go in.
I'm still calling
the consolation bracket.
Oh, and I'm going to go contrarian here. I think Justin Thompson actually beats Ken.
You think okay, I like it. Okay, so Thompson takes care of Ken, but you think Josh still beats Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the final, I've got Ken and Kobayashi. So does Sam. And Justin has Justin Thompson versus Kobayashi. Who do you think gets the consolation dub?
Gonna go with Kobayashi.
I think
The miraculous run.
Okay. So if this happens, he will have 2/3, 2/4, 2/5, and his pick of the spot in the draft.
I could see it.
It tends to happen.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Yeah, but then he's gonna have a poor draft, so it won't matter at all.
Sam just taking the shot from left field.
I love it.
I think Ken wins it. I think Ken wins. I think Montgomery has a phenomenal playoff schedule. I think he will. I mean, he's got Houston, Minnesota, and Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Oh, Debo has a great Metcalf. They're all great playoff matchups.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are both saying Josh wins. I'm saying Ken wins.
Yeah.
Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
All right, and I think that Mark Cockrell unfortunately loses the league.
Yes, I think so too.
Mark, you're better than this. You're consistently in the playoffs. This is just a bad year for you. And I'm hoping you've learned your lesson with the Ravens players. If you're listening, just don't do it next year. Diversify.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with the consolation. Enough consolation. Let's get to the meat.
Oh yeah.
Let's get to the prime rib. Santos and Justin. Who do you got?
What a game.
This is the game of the week.
Oof.
What a game.
Oh, it's
And
just so tough.
It's so tough because he has a couple good matchups. I have a couple good matchups. He has a couple bad matchups. I have a couple bad matchups. So it's pretty
even across the board.
I don't know if he has a bad matchup. Darren Waller's. Maybe?
Yeah, Darren Waller, Indianapolis has shut down tight ends.
So but you have the advantage on that anyway because you have Kelsey. You're gonna win every tight end advantage no matter what the matchups are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Not if Darren Waller puts up 38 or whatever.
No, that doesn't happen every year. This is one thing we have to consider, guys. Okay, players: Tyreek Hill, Derek Waller, Aaron Jones. Players do not put up plus 40 on the reg.
We know.
Which means, but it's happened. Which means it will not. I do not think it happens again.
That's my hope.
But so okay, let's break it down. I think Santos wins this, but it's going to be by the skin of his teeth. All right.
Could happen.
Tannehill, Jacksonville. Well, we got to call it now. This is my bracket. I'm calling Santos to win this, even though I want to face Justin in the finals, but my gut has to. Okay, so anyway, Tannehill at Jacksonville, Aaron Rodgers at Detroit. I think it's a push. I think Tannehill's got the slightly better matchup, but I think Rodgers is a better quarterback. It's a push. Jones, Detroit, McCaffrey against Denver. McCaffrey doesn't matter who he plays, but Jones has an insane matchup.
Yeah, that's a crazy good match.
He put up 43. Remember we talked about how you don't do 43 on the reg? He did that last time he played Detroit, so I don't think he does it again, but I think he hits CMC numbers.
But let's also be aware of the last time they played Detroit, Adams was hurt, so they didn't have really a passing game.
It's true, and I think so. You take away the passing work, and I don't think he goes 160, but I could see 102 TDs.
Yeah,
I think this matchup in many ways will hinge on how Green Bay decides to play Detroit.
Yeah,
because if it's all in the air, you got an advantage.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if Rodgers is throwing to Jones, that's a disadvantage.
Yeah, but I think if they're throwing more, we've seen that it tends to favor.
They go away. You're right.
Yeah, that Jones does not have as great games, and
yeah,
Green Bay's going to have their way no matter what. So it just depends on how they decide to have their way.
Exactly.
I think, as much as I'd never thought I'd ever say this in my life, James Robinson is the better play here of Carson, although it's close.
It is close.
But I just trust Robinson's guaranteed production over Carson. Carson's been used sparingly.
Robinson has been playing phenomenally well.
And he's playing every snap. The man doesn't come off the field.
Yeah.
I like Keenan over Lockett. I think Davis is staying in, and I actually like him more than Hopkins. That's insane to hear it come out of my mouth. But
I would. Yeah, Davis. Hopkins to me is actually on. I think he might be on the decline. To be honest, I think this is.
Kelsey over Waller, obviously. Kirk and Anderson to me are both darts. I don't think either guarantee production. I
Well, I
guess if
think
DJ Moore is out,
yeah, DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel will be out.
oh, both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that changes that.
Yeah.
So Robbie Anderson is the pass
Is
catcher.
the option,
You have the
but that
entire
also means
Carolina
he's going to get
offense pretty much.
swamped.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I like Denver, but they're in Carolina. Okay, I think that's Anderson's game more than Kirk. Suck up and Bass, I don't know. They're kickers.
I don't know the kickers.
These are named Coup. Do not care. Oh man, these are both good matchups for defense too. I think Saints have they're a better defense.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is close. I'm almost talking myself away from my pick. I have actually done it. Justin, you're winning this game.
I think to me it depends on two things. One, does McCaffrey play? I think he will, but if there's a chance he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think too what we said, how Green Bay decides to play this game, because if they decide to run it, Jones is gonna absolutely light it up.
Oh yeah, he won't. Nothing will stand in his way.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, so who are you picking?
I mean, I want to say Justin because I'm a little biased because I want Adams to go off. So Aaron Rodgers throw the ball. So yeah, I'm thinking that they're gonna throw the ball. Personally, I don't know. My personal opinion, though.
I will say this: I think Detroit throws the ball a lot.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Patricia got fired, and the first thing the interim head coach, the offensive coordinator, do was unleash Matthew Stafford. So against a good Chicago Bears defense, and it worked.
Yeah.
So anyway, which means the Pack might have to keep throwing. Justin, I'm picking you. Dang, I talked myself out of my own pick. That's insane. Okay, we're all picking Justin.
Yeah.
Me versus Noah.
Ooh.
I'm picking me. I don't care.
I'm picking you as well.
I'm the best team in the freaking playoffs.
True.
I don't care if I'm homing. Let's go.
I'm picking
All right.
Noah. I'm thinking he's gonna go on the upswing this week.
Oh,
Sam, controversial, maybe not. Noah is ranked higher than me, but
yes. He's a 3 seed for a reason.
yeah. All right. Sam's at Noah. I got myself. Okay, so let's go to the next round. That means that Sam, you play Justin. Oh my gosh.
I know the bracket, that side is just so stacked. It's got the top 3 teams in our power rankings.
Can I even see that? Hold on.
Yeah, can we get that matchup?
Matchups? I don't know if I can see that.
You just got to go to the teams and then click on their week 15. So you have to go to each one.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me open those up separately. Jeesh. Yeah, because matchups matter here.
So for this matchup, I think what I'm looking at is what does Sam do at the quarterback position? Because I think Breeze is back by then. And does Joe Mixon play?
I don't know if Joe Mixon playing is a huge buff, though, to be completely honest.
Same.
That's true. He's playing Pittsburgh, so maybe
Pittsburgh.
not.
Yeah, I don't.
So it may continue to be Rob, but Robbie Anderson faces Green Bay. That's a matchup.
That's terrible. At Green Bay, in Green Bay. Okay, Justin has to push a Q regardless of whoever Sam's starting.
I hate the
Green Bay.
that you have Aaron Rodgers and I have Devontae Adams. It's so annoying.
Well, it's actually good for you though.
It is,
Sam,
but it's just annoying.
because you're gonna limit Rodgers' output. Because Rodgers, I mean, yeah, he'll have the occasional deep shot to like MVS or Tunyon, but Adams is the offense.
Yeah.
He has a full third of Rodgers' yards.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So like, I think that when you guys played before in the season, they like scored equally. I could see that happening again, especially against Carolina. But let's talk QB. So I think Rodgers will push there. CMC and James Robinson, if CMC is healthy, is better than whatever Sam you can put on the table.
Yeah.
And he's facing Green Bay.
Oh. Yeah, which is the perfect matchup. Robinson against Baltimore, though, is really bad.
Yeah.
I will say. That's rough. Devontae Adams and Hill are better than whatever you can put up, Justin.
Yep, it's true.
It doesn't matter who they're playing. Hill has a really hard matchup against New Orleans. I think he'll be fine. But Adams might be the receiver 1 on the week this week. No lie.
Well,
Keenan's gonna have a
Carolina
big.
has actually been great against the pass. I don't.
They haven't played against Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
It's
come on now.
it's
Yeah,
true.
dude. You
Other
literally
than the
can't guard him.
Bucks, no one has shut down Devontae Adams. Absolutely no one. Other than Tampa Bay.
I'm just saying it may not be like he may. I would put Tyreek Hill or I don't know. I would maybe he's probably still the wide receiver 1, but maybe just not as much.
The gap isn't so big.
Like he's just not
I-
going to have his way. Like Carolina's done a pretty good job against wide receivers.
I'm going to say, too, that Keenan's going to go big here against Las Vegas. That's going to be a good game for him. So as much as I would take Adams or Hill over Allen's still going to produce.
Yeah.
The tight end position, Kelsey's is a win. And then the flex, Robert Woods plays the Jets. That's yummy.
25.
That's delicious. So, okay, if Mixon's back, maybe. If Anderson stays, I still think Woods beats any of these guys.
Yeah.
Over Higgins, over Gronk, if you go double tight end. Although that's actually a good matchup for Gronk. But I still take Woods. That's a close one. Oh my gosh, this is so close. I think
So to me, it's the difference maker is CMC versus Green Bay. I think he could just put up a total that just pushes it over the
he
edge.
could be huge. Yeah, he could have like a 30-point game easy.
Yeah,
Assuming
'Cause
he
I think
plays. Assuming he
I think
plays.
they'll erase Anderson, but you can't erase CMC. Like it's just impossible. You can't put 9 guys in the box every play. You just can't do it. Sugar. Sam Pickett.
I mean, I'm gonna stay myself, but
Good for you, man. That's what I wanted to hear. Always pick yourself. And then Justin's picking yourself, right? If you
Of
pick
course.
Sam, Justin, I'm ending this podcast right here. Okay. I am picking Sam.
Yep, right choice.
Very tentatively, though. And this is my belief that Hill stays at quarterback. Hot take.
Yeah, I like.
I think Hill stays at quarterback against Kansas City.
That is a hot take right there.
That's spicy.
That's sizzling.
But you're welcome for it. I know everyone wanted it. I'm here for you. Okay. That brings me against Jacob. Oh, no.
I think you win it.
What? Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Justin, talk me into it. Because I'm taking myself, obviously, but talk me into it.
So it's. Let me hold on. Give me a second. I got to pull it up. Pulling up both teams now. I got to get the Week 15 matchup. So Jacob's matchups.
Oh, they're not good.
Russell Wilson gets Washington.
Mm.
He struggled against the Giants. The Washington has a better defensive front. Dalvin Cook gets Chicago. Chicago's got a good defense.
They're the only team to hold them under 100.
Nick Chubb gets the Giants. They just beat Seattle and looked outstanding defensively. Adam Thielen, Chicago. Allen Robinson, Minnesota. It's okay. Atlanta gets Tampa Bay. Very good defense. Cole Beasley gets Denver. I mean, there's not a single mediocre matchup, let alone
Big B, though,
good
will get the
matchup.
Jets. So, hot sauce.
What'd you say?
Big B gets the Jets, so money.
Yeah. Yay. Hooray.
Okay, on the flip side, I got Murray against Philadelphia, which is a tough matchup. Eckler against Las Vegas. Eckler will be our RB1 that week.
Yes, he's going to
He
go.
might push top 5. I get Kiki Kuti against Indianapolis. We just saw what he did against Indianapolis. I get Deontay against Cincinnati.
Yummy, yummy.
Yummy. I get Fant against Buffalo, or I'm gonna have Fant against Buffalo. That's fine. And I get Landry against the Giants. And Landry's just a target hog.
I think
That's why I
he's
trade
fine. You know,
He's the wide receiver 2. That was the idea when I got him. The weather just killed him for like 3 weeks in a row.
yeah.
But like Deontay's my 1, Landry's my 2, and then Williams is the flex.
And you can play Mike Williams, who has Las Vegas. So
I could, and I might. We'll see how far we get. I might play Tim Patrick here.
yeah, good.
He's legitimate. I don't know. I've got options in the flex. It's true. I do like those matchups. Okay, so I was picking myself anyway, though, because I'm the best team in the playoffs. So, Sam, who are you picking?
Oh, it's close, honestly. I don't know. I like Jacob's team better. Obviously,
Yeah.
we were talking about the matchups and maybe not the best, but I think he still pulls it out.
Okay, so Sam takes Jacob. There's no I see it. If I wasn't playing in that game, I would pick him. Okay, let's go. That means in the final. In the final, I've got Sam.
We all
Sam's
have
got
something
Sam.
different.
Justin has himself, and then I have me. Justin has me. Sam has Jacob. So Sam has Jacob versus Sam. I have Luke versus Sam. Justin has Luke versus Justin. Ooh, baby.
Oh, baby. Indeed.
And I win, obviously. So nice, everyone. It's been fun. No, let's look at. I gotta look at 4 teams matchups. Okay, let's look at Sam's prediction here. So Sam says himself and Jacob. So let's look at those. Okay, so Jacob's got Russell at LA, not the best. Dalvin Cook at New Orleans. Oh my gosh. Chubb at the Jets, though, so that's like 25, 30 points. Thielen at New Orleans. Ugh. Allen Robinson against Jacksonville. Yummy. Julio against Kansas City. Cole Beasley against New England, but he could play Hunt at the Jets. Those are not bad. Okay, that's a mix. That's good, some bad. Sam has Taysom at Minnesota, but I don't think Taysom's starting at this point. My hot take ends at the Kansas City game. Just being honest. I don't know who. So I don't know if I play Gellman at Baltimore. So you have Jacobs at Miami, not better. I'd play David Johnson at Cincinnati, probably there. But Jonathan Taylor's at Pittsburgh. Play Cam Akers maybe if he's taking hold of the reins.
There's just so many options with that running back group. You could go so many different directions.
Yeah,
with it.
we'll see what I do.
It's gonna be tough to make a call there if you get that far.
I think I still take Jacobs running backs here though, because I trust Alvin for 10 no matter what.
Yeah,
and Chubb's gonna go off. And then Sam's got the receiver group
which
by
have
three
excellent
miles.
matchup.
Yeah,
Look at
Tennessee
these
and
matchups.
Atlanta.
Look at these matchups.
I have to pick Sam just purely based off these wide receiver matchups are disgusting.
That could be the wide receiver 1 and 2, and I don't care the order. Like
And
either of those
3,
guys.
Robert Woods gets Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, I think I picked Sam here. Sheesh. So in Sam's bracket, I would throw Sam, but this is all you, Sam, because we don't actually get a pick. Who do you think?
Come on, that's not a question.
All right, Sam picks himself, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do the Justin's bracket, which is me v Justin. Then we'll parlay that. We'll flip Justin back to Sam. Oh boy. Okay, so if I play Justin in the final, which is what I want to happen, just because it's a great narrative that the 5 and 6 seed meet in the finals. I think it's awesome.
Which, just quick history fact, guess which seed has the most championships?
The 6 seed.
Er,
No, it's the 5th?
Sam?
5.
5.
Yikes.
So who's winning it this year?
Okay, so let's talk matchups. Rodgers has Tennessee. That's disgusting. Christian McCaffrey has Washington. That's fine. I mean, he's McCaffrey.
He's match.
Robinson has Chicago. It's similar. I think he's fine. 18 points. Keenan has Denver. Quick note about Denver. Their best corner, AJ Bouye, is out for the rest of the year on suspension. So
Ooh.
Denver is not that hard of a matchup. That's breaking news. DeAndre's got Frisco. Solid matchup. Or solid defense. Kelsey's going to be the wide receiver 4 on the week. Oh, he's going to be the tight end 1 now.
He's like wide receiver 3 or 4 on the season, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, he's unfair. And Robbie Anderson is, I mean, you could play Mixon here at Houston. If Mixon's back, you play Mixon.
Yeah, I play Mixon.
Because that's a nice matchup for him, Houston. I got Murray and Drake at Frisco. That's not great. What did they do last time they played them? How did he do? He had 26 points. Okay, he could do it. And that was a fully loaded Frisco team with Nick, Bosa, and all them. Okay. I'm not super bad on that. Drake had 13 points too. Okay, all right. Okay. They're all right. I mean, obviously, McCaffrey. I take Rodgers, McCaffrey, and Robinson over these three, but it's not the end of the world. Eckler will be fine against Denver. Deontay's gonna smash. QT's gonna smash. Jarvis Landry's gonna smash. Yo, you'd have a game on your hands, my man.
I don't
The
know about
Jets,
that.
Cincinnati, and Indianapolis. Those are all gettable points right there. And we have to talk about Younghoe Koo, who will score 18. And I don't care if you play Suck Up or Myers, they're not going to outscore Younghoe Koo. So, Younghoe Koo RB13 on the year. Younghoe Koo, okay, watch out.
Really?
I picked me, obviously.
And I pick me, obviously.
Yeah. I actually, in your fantasy world where you get the playoffs against me, I pick you too. Okay, let's look at you versus me, or Sam versus me. I pick Sam. Crap. In my fantasy bracket, I pick Sam to win it all. No, I pick me to win it all. Screw it. Cuckoo is going all the way. Definitely the underdog.
That's funny.
Yikes. Okay, there's our brackets though. We all pick ourselves to win. Good job, guys.
I will say though, Luke, I mean, it's all like I feel like every year it's the team that we don't expect, and everybody just can't put up points, and you know that narrative is there for you. So
All I'm saying, Justin, if we meet you or Sam, when we meet in the finals, because it'll be one of you. If you don't bring 100, I got the dub. All right, I've been saying it for the last month. Bring your 100, or else I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna
yeah,
sneak it.
just get to that championship.
Can you
and make it
imagine
happen.
me selling and winning the league? I might have to
it's
retire.
complete. The road is completely there. I think that because I think you know Noah's a great matchup, obviously.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I think you're getting Jacob at probably his hardest matchups he's getting all year. So I think it's completely. I think you're favored almost to get to the championship.
I hope so.
And then then you got to face a hard team, but that's
Yeah, I have to
1
face
week.
one of you three. The hard part is, the good part is I've got the nice end, so getting there is hopefully attainable. But you are the 3 player teams I obviously don't want to play against.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it's guaranteed to play against one of you.
yeah.
That's where the buy is nice for me.
Yeah, it's huge for you, Sam. Huge. You're just gonna get a really tough game, regardless if it's Santos or Justin coming out
Yeah.
in the next week. Oh man. Okay. That's brackets. How are we doing here? Let me look at the time. Ooh, 52 minutes. Okay. Dang. All right, here we go. Let's talk. I want to talk fantasy awards real quick. We're not doing fantasy awards this year, but I want you guys to be aware. I'll put this in the blog too. We're going to be putting a poll up, or I'll be putting a poll up in the league to vote. I believe it's anonymous. If it's not, then I'll have to come up with a different system. But
Email or text or whatever.
yeah, we'll figure it out. I want to get you guys to vote on. There's some awards here. Manager of the year, so someone who's done a phenomenal job. This does not have to be the winner of the league, mind you. We will present these going into championship weekend. We're going to do the fantasy awards. But again, like the manager of the league could be in the consolation. I'm just saying. I don't think so, but it could be. Best trade of the year, and when I say best trade, for me it's the most equal. Like both teams got equal sides. I think. You guys.
I would say we could do most equal, best, and worst. I would say best is you got a great.
Someone
trade.
just. Well, then best and worst is the same trade. It's you and Kessner. Okay, so anyway,
that's true.
So I think best is the most equal. Worst is the most lopsided. Like someone just got away with murder.
That's true. That's probably better.
Anyone come to
Justin.
mind off the top of your head?
Like, Sam, when you think of the worst trade of the year, what name comes to your head?
I don't know. I just can't think of any. They're all too close to call.
They're all too close.
Yeah.
Are you sure there's not one? Well, we'll find out. All right. We have the biggest surprise, and this is manager, biggest surprise manager, best draft, and then the best deep shot, like the best chance someone took on a player.
We may add a couple categories between now and whenever.
Yeah, we might add some more. If you have some ideas, shout out and say, hey, Luke, or whoever, what about this award? We'll throw it on there. And I'll be cycling these votes, these polls up, and we'll hopefully kind of get to award these guys. I do want to say while we're here now, congratulations to Justin. You scored the most points this year in the regular season, so well done. And congratulations, Sam. You won the regular season title,
Sure.
and that's no small feat. So congratulations, my man.
Yep.
Good luck to both of you guys in playoffs. Okay, you guys want to talk about divisions? Or you just want to save that for next week? I feel like we got a lot of juice or meat here.
Well, I mean, I guess we can talk about it. I don't think it's up to you guys.
I'm fine with it.
All right, let's keep going. Okay, so me and Justin, we're talking. Sam has no idea what this is about, but I'm kind of glad because we're gonna get his honest input right off the bat. Ever always just trying to make the league more fun, more interesting. That's why we do this podcast. That's why we do the rankings, because we're trying to get you guys more involved, trying to add to the fun. And so one of the things we do every year at the draft is we randomly assign teams to divisions. So the division winners stay in their division. So as of right now, Noah, Sam, and Jacob will all stay in their divisions. And then we will randomly assign teams to those divisions after the draft. It's normally what we do. And Justin and I were talking, and we think there might be a more fun way to do that. And there's a couple ideas. So Justin, you want to hit him with the first idea, and I'll do whatever the one you won't bring up now.
Yeah. So the first, obviously we want it to be more fun, but also fantasy football is a pretty random game. Obviously there's skill involved, but divisions play a very large role in how well you may or may not do. So it'd be nice to give everybody a sort of, in a sense, a slight say, so that it kind of becomes more of a strategic game. So the first idea we had was the division winners get to draft their division. So Sam, Noah, and Jacob would go through a draft, and they would draft which managers they want in their divisions.
Josh.
So I love this idea, and I think we were talking about it, and this is all up for debate. Nothing is set in stone, but we're talking about it, obviously. I think that this is something we could do before the draft, so before the teams are picked. Like, you would know the keepers, essentially, and that's it. You would know, like, we know that Josh and I...
And past history.
Yeah, we know, obviously, the league, the manager history, kind of who has what draft picks coming up, because you could have a Josh Kobayashi who's loaded with draft picks, but you still think he's a terrible manager, so you draft him early. I don't know. So
3 and 10 again.
So I think it would be a lot of fun. We'd have a snake style draft before the draft, and we have the managers pick their divisions, which I think that'd be a lot of fun. The other idea we had, or Sam, what do you think about that idea first?
I like that idea. I think that's a cool idea. It gives more incentive to be a divisional winner too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting and kind of highlights or maybe puts a spotlight on the bad managers to not be bad.
That's exactly what I said. I said whoever gets picked first is gonna feel the worst,
Yeah,
and you should
Just
So the other idea that Justin had, which I think is an equally good idea, is at post draft we go the same order that we did. So consolation back through playoffs, right? So number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or whatever. Barring on kind of how the playoffs, because the top 3 seeds are the division winners. So those guys would be locked into their divisions, and then 7 through 12 to 6 through 4, the managers get to choose which division to go into. So we'd have to figure out the order, but essentially, as part of the incentivizing of winning or finishing better is you get to decide. Kind of, you have a good idea of who's in your division. So like the person who loses, they get to pick from the 3 division winners. So that sucks because they just any one of those guys, you're gonna go in there. It's gonna be tough. But then whoever won consolation would kind of get, or we'd have to figure it out where there's a way for you guys to kind of pick where you go.
It would probably be in tiers. So if you finished, 12th, 11th, 10th, you would get to pick, the person who's 10th maybe gets to pick first, and then it goes 11, 12, and then you would go. So essentially, you would, depending on the tier you're in, if you did worse, you're going to have to pick earlier. But also, if you did better, I don't know. We'd have to figure out how exactly that worked. But essentially, the idea is that if you didn't do so well, you get a worse pick of which division you get to go into, or whatever.
I don't know about that just because of when the 10th, 11th, and 12th just be in the same bracket, or they could potentially just be in the same division.
Oh,
They could
I
be
didn't
like,
think about.
oh, I want to be Division 1, says 10. 11 says, oh, I want to be in Division 1 as well. And then 12's like, oh, I want to be in Division 1 as well, because it's like, oh, we all suck.
That's a good point.
I would agree that the probably the drafting idea is
It's a better idea.
is
So
probably
anyway,
a better idea.
if you're listening and you have a variation, if you have a brand new idea, hit it again, run it by us. I'm always up as a commish to hear about new ideas. That's how we have things like the new, how the keepers work. That's how we change the rules. I'm all about making it more fun. I think that the drafting is a super fun idea, and I will include it obviously in my welcome back email in the summer. But something to think about. And again, hopefully, kind of getting your minds working on things we could do to kind of make the league more fun. We have a couple other ideas cooking in the oven, but I'm going to leave those there in the oven for now. We might bring them up in later pods. But yeah, that was the kind of the division. I think that'd be so much fun, man. And like you, Sam, you, Noah, and Jacob just sitting there like picking out the worst managers first. That'd be so much fun. Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. I think it would be like a nice, fun thing to start the draft with too, because then we dive in and pick and like, and you're kind of like, it might. I think it would like flavor like in draft trades too. Like, hold on a sec, now you're in. I know you're in my division, so do I really want to help you out, and vice versa? I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, and also hopefully it would make the divisions less lopsided, which we've had fairly lopsided divisions the past couple of years. I feel like.
Yes, like this year, Kessner. I'm so sorry, dude. Like, first of all, the injury bug just smacks you, and then you get put in a division with like three of the best 5 managers
who all made the playoffs.
Like, that just sucks. Like, that's unfair, but that's how the cookie crumbled. Hopefully, we can eliminate some of that randomness.
So as much as I love facing you, Luke, and playing with you,
I
don't want to face you.
How many years, man? It's like you and I are the first week matchup every single freaking year.
It's the
worst.
It's the worst.
Oh, it's the worst. As much as my record against you is really good, I still don't like it. Like, I don't like risking the record. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to play in a record with a division with Sam one of these days and kind of show him how a real manager.
A new rivalry.
Yeah, I just want to show you, what it's like to actually have good managers in your division. That's all I want you to do. Like, having Cody, Mark, and Josh this year was a gimme. Like,
yes.
It's kind of unfair and broken, and that's why I think if we meet in the finals, I'm going to get you. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Anything else, guys?
Nah. Good luck in playoffs.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody.
Ready to get smacked by Lord Farquaad.
I told Sam before we were on, I think something's white right now. Something's wrong. Sam, I want to do a little prop bet with you.
What?
Hold on, let me look at your matchup real quick. Okay. I bet. We have to put something on the line here. Hold on. Let me think of something good. I bet my week 1 team name next week or next year against your week 1 team name that my team scores more points in the playoffs than you do all weeks.
All 3 weeks?
All 3 weeks.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do
it. All right. I'm gonna feel so good about naming your team next year. You have no idea.
Yeah, for 1 week.
The odds tilt heavily in Sam's favor.
Yeah.
I know, Justin, but at the same time, when I win, it's gonna be that much sweeter.
Should have increased the payout on your end, Luke. That's what you should have done.
Well, I don't know. I'm not into lopsided bets in like the like I get 1 week, you get 3 or something. Like it's got to be even.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
like I was gonna do this week, but I think you're gonna outscore me this week. But I think I can get you the next, and that's what matters.
Okay.
So like
We'll see. We'll see.
across all three.
As the
All
great
right.
wise Lord Farquaad says, some of you may die, but that is the risk I am willing to take.
All right, that's it for us. We'll talk to you guys next week.